if you're relying on extrinsic motivation, or if you're relying on an extrinsic source of discipline, then you probably aren't very passionate about whatever you're trying to do. Is if it's something that you need to pull upon something external to get that discipline or motivation to be able to do, versus if you have that fire burning inside of you that really is pushing you towards whatever it is that you're going to do.
Yeah, passion's a weird one, because more often than not, when I hear people cite passion, I find those people to act in what I would deem to be a relatively dispassionate way. People who talk about, oh yeah, like I'm really passionate about X, Y, or Z. It's like, yeah, everyone's passionate about stuff when things are going well.
Yeah.
Right? It's like, are you, when the ship's going down, where are you going to be? Right? And I think that question doesn't get either posed enough or answered honestly enough. Because I just think people need to admit to themselves, and like, I had to do this. I started studying history and political science, and I was like, oh, I'm going to, I liked the idea of teaching from a young age. I liked the subject matter of history and political science. I was headed down like master's and PhD route. That's what I was going to be. I was going to be Professor Jordan, the history and political science professor. But it's like, I just had like, and I can point numerous times in my life where I was like headed down a path and had to admit to myself that it ain't it.
Yeah.
And it's like, look, it's okay if fitness or whatever you're doing is not it. Like I did that. 2 years in, sunk a bunch of money, had to uproot my life, moved to Toronto from Windsor, lived in a shitty dorm room by myself. And then this kid, then we fought and he left, and then I was by myself again. And that was a nightmare. And, then I ended up moving to California by myself. I was like, okay, I don't know, chiropractor, I guess. It sounds like a ton of debt. Or like I was married and I was the husband guy at like a pretty young age relative to a lot of my friends. And like, yeah, a few years in, I had to admit to myself, like, hey, man, this ain't it. Like, and, like no shade or anything like that. But it's just like, I think people are so... I don't know what it is. I don't want to say afraid to change, but maybe that's the best way to word it. Like I know, like there was some fear in changing programs, but like to me, it was such an obvious like trade off of, dude, the opposite is worse.
Right.
The opposite is obviously worse, right? But maybe it's not so obvious. Like I don't know. People in fitness and training and coaching, and it's. The ceiling is, forget about it, 9 figures. Fuck, if you get into something like a big, you're talking Equinox, Peloton, like you're looking bills, dog. Like you're looking up 10-figure companies. Now, obviously, there's a lot that goes into that. But I don't think there's an industry with a ceiling so high with a barrier of entry so low, right? And I think it's enticing, but I think people can get caught in this riptide, this undercurrent of the industry where it's like they don't dislike it enough to find what they're actually passionate about. And everyone likes lifting weights. It's chemically kind of hardwired into the majority of us to feel good when we do it. But it's like, you gotta understand the difference between endorphins and passion, homie. Like it's not. Otherwise, you're gonna be marrying every hooker you run into, right? Like and then killing them in this hotel room. I want to blue light this room, by the way. This couch has got me real suspect. I know there's nothing on that because that's the Cuck chair. So there's nothing. There's no mess on that. It's where I'm sitting is the big concern.
Yeah, for sure.
But it's so endorphins and passion, and I think exercise is it's a bit of a trap. I think the industry can be a bit of a trap. I look at personal training a lot like I look at stripping. Right, I know some women of the night that they were just going to strip their way through undergrad. I was just going to train my way through undergrad.
Classic story.
It was as old as time, really. And the funny thing is, those people usually find each other, right? The 40-year-old bald personal trainer who uses too much melanotan is always with a ripper. Always. Same. But it's like, I think people have a hard time across the board, but I think fitness poses with it some comfortabilities in lifestyle, relative ease in, being above the bottom 10%, being like painfully or dangerously comfortable or comfortably numb in your day-to-day. That, look, man, it goes fast, and I'm the fucking old guy now, but let me tell you, I woke up yesterday and I was coming out of high school, and now I'm 33, 10 years out in practice. Like, and lucky for me, I was so dumb that these decisions weren't hard.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, I want to do that thing now. And I was like, well, I'm going to start doing the other thing now. It's like, oh, that's a big commitment that you 2 years in history and political science. Okay, bye. I'm going. Or like, I don't want to be married anymore. It's like, yeah, like maybe I was just so dumb and it was a blessing that I didn't know it was going to be hard. But fuck, man, like people, like clock is ticking because I swear to God, tomorrow we're going to wake up and we're going to be 50. And people just, and you know what? You might not ever regret not making the decision, but you don't know what you're missing. And I'm not saying like, yo, if you're not 100% in, quit your fucking job tomorrow, tell your fitness manager to go fuck his hand. I'm saying like, take an inventory, man. Talk to someone, talk to your friends, talk to people in the industry. I've had people reach out to me, and it's like, it's a scary trap. And it's not, no one should settle, I don't think, right? Like, no, it's true, man. Like, there's so much shit you can do. And fitness, if you aren't, like, certain, 100% certain, and, like, ask yourself, based off your behaviors, you're 100% certain, right? Like, it's fucking whatever X o'clock at night, we just Ubered the fucking batteries, we got this done, we flew with this, Jay Marsh and I were just down in... Sometimes I question my certainty, but I look at the stuff that I do and go, yeah, no, I'm in, man. I'm about as in as any fucking three dudes could be. We're in. Yeah. And look at the way you're acting. Because some people are like, oh, yeah, no, definitely. And it's like, yeah, did you have a drink the other day? Right? Did you swipe right on Tinder rather than fucking like putting up your website? Yeah. Right? Did you follow up with that client, or did you just go fucking jerk off? Like, what are your actions telling you?